Alright, I hope you can hear me, but I want to talk about some stuff. I'm just really fucking lit up right now about this whole fucking Afghanistan shit. It's the dumbest move that any president's ever done. And the way that he's just covering it up, like, all of his bullshit. Well, it was 4 days ago, and I stand behind my withdrawal. I'm a fucking, just a blind zombie. Lost, confused, doesn't know what fucking Harris's title is. It's embarrassing. So embarrassing. All the fucking questions are scripted. It's fucked. It's so fucked. Yeah, there won't be any helicopters. You won't see that, you know? And then fucking few days later, yeah, he's just oblivious. And it hurts, you know, because, I mean, me as one person, all I can do is watch and speak on it, you know, but it takes more than just me to do something about it. And I don't even know what that something would be, you know. I mean, impeach him, first off, but really, I saw fucking babies being handed to soldiers because they know their life will probably be better. And just the fear that I felt, and like watching those videos, it was so much for me to watch because of the way that I pick up on shit. And even just watching that video, you know, I felt for the soldiers, and I felt for the people in the crowd, and just the fucking the chaos that's contained in like those shipping containers is mind-blowing. And I can't like think about how to put it into words because it doesn't make sense to me. It's a situation that shouldn't have happened, but it did because of his irresponsibility, and he won't even take responsibility or like act on it or anything. And he's laughing like, oh, that was 4 days ago. That's no place to laugh about anything. It's just sad. I don't even think he knows what he did. You know, the actual depth of what he did. He equipped the Taliban and gave them an air force. And there are our soldiers there and British American soldiers there as well that can be taken as hostages now due to the fact that they have weapons and an air force. But we're not needed there, you know? Look, I'm truly, this is like where I hit a breaking point because I spread positivity because I'm sick of seeing hate in the world. But it comes to a point in me where the whistleblower and all that shit just is crying out. Like, I don't know how to just like write a letter to him, you know what I mean? Like, how do I address him personally? You know, like, what's the best way to reach the president these days? You know, it's fucking sickening. It really is. It's a joke. Not the lives of the people that are in jeopardy, and the mothers that had to fucking hand their babies over to soldiers. It's so terrifying. It's so terrifying. It's a lot. But the way that he doesn't even think about it, and he's so okay and standing behind it, you know, not even a little ounce of anything but those dumb fucking beady eyes. And stumbling everywhere. I really don't know what to say about it. I know I just have to say something. Probably the fucking, like I said, the dumbest thing that any president's ever done. Like, I understand we were there for 20 years, but we were there 20 years for a reason. I don't know, I just feel like Vietnam type shit, you know? Because now there's two factions there, and one's fucking heavily equipped. I don't know. That's why I don't like talking about politics. It just pisses me off and upsets me. Just to think that one person is in charge. It's nuts. It doesn't make sense. Especially, like I've said, you know, people have heard me rant about politics and presidents before. And, you know, planet Earth. But this is just so bizarre. It's been a decline. Like, nothing's been good out of his presidency. Do you know what I mean? Like, just more lockdowns, more variants. And now this. And this is way more dangerous, because this truly affects the future. And it can go any way. It's not in our control. It's not in anybody's control really anymore. Who knows what's gonna happen over there? You know, for 4 days it can be completely different. You know, but 4 days ago, he didn't think that all this could have happened. It's fucking wacky. And like Twitter threads to save people. People with banners with people's names. Still waiting. It's fucking sad. It's really fucking sad. I don't know how many small, like, YouTubers or, like, anybody, really, is talking about it. It's just so recent, so fresh. And I don't know much about politics at all. I just know when you give weapons to people like that, or, you know, just anybody that is... There's a large amount of people over there. Now they have weapons, and they have an air force, and a lot of our people's over there. And he's not even concerned with getting them out. That's what saddens me. It's like he's walking away from his country while he's still in power of it. It's disgusting, it's embarrassing. Now I kind of really want to see what Barack Obama has to say about it. And he might try to defend him and say how it's like how he did it in Iraq and how Hillary's done it in Libya. But I don't know, it's just a blue trend, apparently. Back out of shit. It's gross. And then use your money to hide it and shit. Corporate money. The millions of people that voted for you. The most voted for a president. I didn't. Did you? And that's why I don't speak politics. You know? Because now people know that I voted for Trump. And, I mean, does it really matter? Because I voted for Trump solely because of the fact that he was an outsider and he wasn't a fucking politician. And that's it. Not for his scandals, not for anything else. Just because that, I mean, if you look back at videos now and stuff, blabbing about the shit that we're dealing with. But the way he said it, it hit a lot of people because it's kind of like he was a regular person, you know? He wasn't just this fucking political shell. And he's like the same age as Biden, which is crazy because of the fucking... I don't know. It needs to be someone younger. It really does. It really fucking does. If just one person at all, it needs to be someone younger. But if not, it needs to be like a board. Or just, I don't know, I guess computers, if that's what's next. And I'm not mocking it. If that's what it's gonna be, so be it. But I don't know, if we have so much power on our phones, we could do it like that. But with like our thumbprint or whatever, every thumbprint's unique, we could do that. Just speculation and thought. Just like fucking... I have to watch them every time I see it. I do, because I really want to know what's going on over there. The image of them on the plane. It's like the craziest image of the year, you know? I think so. I think that's more of an emotional image than like the COVID hallways and all the nurses and all that. Like, I stand for essential workers and everybody that's still working and shit, but I mean, there's so many fucking lives on that cargo plane trying to escape. And you know, it was another lockdown in their own way. Just so terrifying. The way that the baby was like fucking handed like it was a doll. So sad. And I'm sure, you know, I don't know, but I mean, I would hope that the baby's gonna be better off now than it would have been still crammed in that cargo area. But I mean, these are my thoughts and now they're coming out, so it's just my opinion. Take it for what it is, you know? You don't have to listen to me. I just like to express myself now that I kind of really know how. I wasn't good with tonality and figuring myself out. And when I went for the Return to Nature spoken word, I really wanted to do like a teleprompter idea. Just the way that it's read and no like feeling, no nothing, you know? Like all these fucking stage questions, you know? And I'm trying to switch from my art back to what it is that I like doing, and that's talking, you know? And I mean, yeah, I can use these as like backdrops, but that's besides the point. I like talking about all the bullshit I see and all the bullshit I've seen. And try to get more people to listen so they can understand my side of my story. Connect it with theirs. Make a bigger buck. Put that on the president's desk, you know? And be like, here. I don't know. The whole fucking National Strike Day thing, that's gonna be nuts. Because today when I drove down in White River and I had my art up. I drove to downtown West Lebanon, New Hampshire, across the river. And the Taco Bell, the line is normally like looped around big time, like I'd say 20 to 25 cars. And today they were completely closed, like completely closed at 12. And then I went back at 6 and they were closed still. No cars on the lot, nothing, no workers at all. So I think that one location got so fed up that all the workers probably had a group text and like, no, fuck this. And I kind of want to just drive by tomorrow and see if they're open, because that's crazy. Like the whole franchise, like whoever owns that franchise, I don't know what they're gonna do. You know, that's someone's like house in a way, someone's car. And they all just like walked out on it. But they have every right to. It's so inhumane, everything that's happening. I guess that's just like the whole, you know, that is the true interpretation of the energy right now. Everything is just fucking inhumane. Like the way that we treat people. This fucking Afghanistan bullshit that he fucking withdrawed us from, that he's not even taking responsibility for, that he's laughing about. Like it's a joke, like it was a good idea. Like in the next 10 years, this isn't gonna be something worse, you know? Or even the next 4 years. It won't be his responsibility then, you know? I don't think people are gonna vote for him again. He's gonna be the least voted president. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting turn. How about that? If he was the most voted, right? And then he becomes the least voted for. So for whoever runs Republican, watch it be Trump, he'll be the most voted for. And Biden will be the least. That'd be, I'm calling it now, 17-17. I just called it. Yeah, I'm fucking weird, and I truly have my own opinion, and I've been this weird conspiracy theorist for my whole life, and right now I kind of think this is planned. And China's just fucking laughing at him, but at the same time, I'm not, and I have compassion for human beings. And, you know, I think Biden's a genuine fuck up, and this whole thing is just so ridiculous. Presidency, it's so outdated. I've said this last year and years before this, that it's so fucking outdated. Upsets me. It does. Because we still can't find a better way. And that's what I'm trying to do with my art, is fucking unify us somehow, you know? And the thing I know is meditation, you know? That helps me find more shit about who I am. And when I say shit, it is shit, because it's things that I've locked deep away that I haven't accessed in a long time, you know? I used to go to a friend's house to express myself. You know, I started putting makeup on and wearing fingerless gloves and shit at my friend's house because my dad probably would have put me through a wall back then. But, you know, I'm not blaming him. It's just the way I was raised, and I don't know. If, you know, like I said, I just didn't even want to because of the thought of what could have happened or anything like that, you know? I was like publicly embarrassed in front of my friends, tons of times in the car, in restaurants. Just wasn't happy all the time. But when it was happy, it was happy, but that's just something that I dealt with, or I thought I had to. So when I did end up getting friends, I started expressing myself over there, you know, and I got into music. And when I was younger, I pretty much figured out how corrupt the world was, and like politics themselves. I'm kind of going on a tangent, but at the same time I'm not. I'm trying to open up to something that is kind of relevant to where we are. I think. But yeah, if you want to close off now, go ahead. But if you still have faith in me, just listen. So it's a fucking full moon right now. And it's a full moon in Aquarius. It's coming back for the second time. The last time I was here was last month. So whatever happened between July of last month and now, the energy's being like revealed, you know? And with my return to nature shit, I planned it in the beginning, but I didn't plan on releasing the spoken word the day that I did, you know? It just happened. That's when I was like, okay, now I'm just gonna fucking do it and come back. The reason why I left Instagram for a while was because I didn't feel a connection to pretty much overall the captions of what I was putting in there. Reason being is the tonality through text and how you have to like figure out, you know, what I'm actually trying to say and shit like that instead of actually hearing me say it. So I wanted to do something different and I went with spoken word and I practiced it for a while in the park. And I had a few people that I recited it with. And then I came up with the idea for like the whole teleprompter thing, like I said. So I started reading it off of my phone instead of off of paper to give off the idea like a screen. And I didn't want to be like staring at my phone and like, or the tablet and reading it, you know what I mean? So I just kept like looking down, looking around and all that. But I over-explain shit. I really do, but it's for a good reason. So like I said, I made that because that's how it felt when I was releasing my artwork. You know, kind of like the messages were from a teleprompter and there's no emotion or anything. And I've been doing my art show that you saw on 620, that whole lineup of the 7. I've been doing that at other locations and I've been meeting people in person, and the connection with people in person felt so much better than a lot of the comments that I was getting, just like, you know, all the words, you know. So I just kept doing that, you know, I kept going around to different places and doing that, and I kind of forgot about Instagram and social media, which felt good because in general, I'm not really one to use my phone. I like to just hike, walk, and I'm by myself a lot, so there's really no need for me to do it. But it's how I have to stay relevant for my art and for my art's growth. But where I live, it's super word to mouth. And that's why I brought it into person as well. And it just added up for me. It made more sense. I had a better connection to the emotion. It felt real. And I needed that. I did. Because now I'm seeing all this shit that's going on in Afghanistan after I've been like not looking at anything political for a while, and this is what I actually need to see. And as much as I don't want to see it, it's making me want to talk again about shit. And I was talking about last night how all the glaciers are melting and how fucking sad it is, truly, to know that like the cap on Mount Rainier is almost gone. My phone. That glacier's been there my whole life. And it's almost fucking gone. You know, I also mentioned that Alaska, if all that ice melted, that's probably enough water to drown Alaska. Probably some of the Yukon too. It's scary shit. It really fucking is. I had this book when I was 10, and now I'm gonna start going back to where I was with the politics and shit. But this book that I had when I was 10, I got it for Christmas, and I swear it got lost when the fucking Higgs boson thing went off and Bearstein Bears all that bullshit happened. The Mandela Effect. I had this book, DK's Atlas of the World, and I've been looking for it online for a few days now, and I still can't find it. And it was this thin blue paperback book, probably about 150 pages, and on the cover it had like a wire grid of the Earth with another map of all the light pollution and another map of like the human body. And in the book, it predicted what cities were gonna flood by which years with the map of it. And it also predicted the light pollution for the future, and also predicted prosthetic penises and prosthetic vaginas by the year 2050, which is pretty wild for me to read in 2000. And I can't find any evidence of that book anywhere. And it was a DK Scholastics Atlas of the World. Thin blue paperback, and it's like just fucking gone from existence. And it was a great book, and yeah, I just don't know where it is. Probably got lost in moving, or like I said, lost in time. But I think that was the same year that it was Bush and Gore, and I had a map of the United States that I was coloring in as the live TV was showing who won which state. And I remember in Florida, I had to wait overnight to color it in. And I remember that Jeb was his brother. And I remember what they were showing on TV. They were showing like all the poll stations and all the ballots and everything. And showing like all the just ballots, like they were loose mail in a post office, going down a conveyor belt and counting them and like checking them. And I fucking remember having more Gore things, you know, and I liked him because of an inconvenient truth. And, you know, he might not have been a better option, but he might have gotten our global warming climate change bullshit a little bit further than where it is now. But who knows, you know? Don't know. But I had a feeling that it was just set up somehow. Because, like, that's no coincidence. If it is, that's a friggin' ridiculous coincidence, but I don't believe that. I really don't. And 10-year-old me didn't believe it either. So much so that I went to high school and I did a journalism class, and I started writing a lot. And I just started writing, and there's some things I've seen in other countries that I don't like to speak about too often, but there are just things that I saw over there that depicted certain events in a way that were very eerie before they had happened. And I just think if I took a photo of them, like, I need anybody to believe me, but if I took a photo of them, that person at Fujifilm or wherever the fuck they get the disposable film developed, they probably would have lost their job or their life. So it wasn't worth taking a photo of, you know? I saw it, and I'm speaking on it now, and you can take it or not, you know? But that's when I saw. And it was 2 weeks before, and I've seen racism in my city and growing up white in the Spanish city, but when I went there, dude, they spit on me. They were laughing at me for being in the salt water. And our taxi driver, he was like, oh, the America, United States of Bush, United States of Bush. And we hate Bush. Bush is an asshole. And we just got so many shitty looks because we were white, and you know, my mom covered up, and it was just different, you know? It wasn't like a culture shock ultimately, because I had just gone to Europe and Egypt and bounced around a bunch of places, but that's where I saw racism firsthand, and truly. Like, they hated us because of who our leader was, you know? And this guy hated me because I was a product of my parents, who raised me in a place that's raised by this guy that they don't like. You know, I mean, it's way deeper than that, but from my point of view as a child, I didn't know how else to take it. Another thing I like to think about is having my first cell phone when I was 16. And it was just like a little friggin' phone that had Snake on it. You know, it wasn't anything special. It was like a little Nokia, a little silver Nokia. Small screen, small numbers, QWERTY, no accessory, no like extra shit, you know? It's the most basic phone you can get. And then once texting became popular, I got a sidekick, and I liked writing on the sidekick. I started doing that. It was really popular in my journalism class. I'm just thinking back, like, we watched a lot of videos about conspiracies and Watergate. When the Alex Jones Pizzagate shit came out, that brought me back, and this Jeffrey Epstein bullshit with Bill Gates. I have a thing with Bill Gates, I don't like him. I just don't. I don't trust a person with that much money. They have too much power, or their perception that they have power is what's wrong because of their money, you know? Like, when money can influence a person like that, that's gross. It really is. That's when you like, I feel like that's when a person like lost their soul. You know, there's no amount of money that would take, that would like make me do anything that goes against what I believe in. And what I believe in is what I'm doing right now. Speaking on what I know, what I've seen, what I experienced. I may not be the smartest person in the room. I guarantee that. I've smoked so much fucking weed that I guarantee I'm missing a lot of brain cells. But I'm here. And I've seen a bunch of shit. And I'm not a zombie. And I don't read from a fucking teleprompter. And there are no stage questions. It's just me. And I'm trying to learn to how and where is the best place for me to express myself, truly. I don't know if it's video, I don't know if it's through art, I don't know if it's through music, or the spoken word shit that I tried. Not that any of my stuff is shit, I don't think that of my work, but I just don't know the best platform for me blabbing, for real. And like expressing all these emotions. Because when I paint and when I go live, it's like I go off topic, and that's the thing. It's like, if I do this on YouTube, I can just timestamp everywhere that I like, like catch myself again. Like, oh yeah, here's full circle of that conversation, and back to that. But no, really, this is how I am. This is my mind, and I'm trying to show everybody that, like, yes, I'm okay, but at the same time, I'm not, because I'm still figuring myself out. But I want everybody to know that that's okay. You know, you can be 30 and not have your shit together. You know, you could have been a shithead half your life, like I was. You know, have a bunch of people hate you for who you were, and hopefully see who you are now and maybe change their mind about it. But you know, there's free will, so they can do what they want, and I'll back it no matter what. But, yeah, I don't know. People can change, and it's a good thing. Really, you know. I don't like talking about how I was raised, but it's not the way that I believe. And it hasn't been. And like I said, the whole like unveiling thing with the moon and the timing of all this shit. I just really hope that nobody dies. But I know that that's not possible. You know, I know a lot of people over there are gonna lose their lives. And I don't know, I highly doubt he's gonna be like, alright, go back. You know, even if he does, but it's not gonna save everybody that's already gone. I just think he doesn't have any sense or idea what he did. I just think he's like, okay, yeah, because in 3 more years, 4, 3.5, whatever the fuck, it's not gonna be his problem. I think he knows he's gonna be voted out or die, you know, or get impeached. Just don't know what else to say about him. I don't have much to say about him. Besides the fact that he's not a leader. I don't know. He doesn't stand up for America. He's going on vacation. And he's not taking responsibility. I'd rather just sit back and relax with Jill while these countless Americans and people trying to change and get away from their country that's a prison to them. It's just abandoning so many people. You know, it's very cowardice. It's gross. It's not right. It's really not right. Like, I'm surprised there's not people storming the White House. Veterans even. Just upset with his decision. To the point that he's putting soldiers in other factions at risk. It's just a fucking bonehead move. Signing papers while he's eating pudding. Sickening. Not actually, but I mean, like, come on. What really gets me is when he's answering these questions that you can fucking tell they're staged. It's like every press conference is a town hall. It's gross. But it's the media. And it's what they portray, that's what they want you to see. And it's so sad that they don't have anything better to show. But there isn't anything good going on. You know, like, I'm trying to be this fucking lighthouse in a world that's so fucking dark right now that People are just giving up on each other, you know? And like just exactly what Biden's doing, just abandoning shit. You know, if it doesn't work for them, they're just backing off. And I don't feel like I'm alone when I say that. That's just the energy of everything that's going on right now. And others returning with like the puppy eye face. No idea what's going on. But they're sorry. You know? And I've been there. I have. It's the energy returning. But when I started recording this tangent, I had just gotten done watching the video of the man in the long teal blue shirt passing the baby across the barbed wire brick wall to a soldier. And then just looking away like nothing happened. And that wasn't even the only one that I saw. There was another one that I saw. And like I said, the people with the name Spencer, the thing. And there was, like I said, I'm not political at all. I'm just watching whatever I see because I'm trying to gather different, you know, perspectives on it. And I watched this Rachel Maddow one. And she's crying about it too. How the fuck could you not? But it was like a chain of tweets and emails to an American in there, an American with an Afghan ally and a family. And they were trying to fucking get a hold of this guy through tweets. Do you see me? With a picture on Twitter showing his perspective. I'm like, oh, we have night vision goggles on. No idea. Like, the dude's fearing for his life. And that's your mode of transportation with the translator. Just through tweets and emails. I mean, yes, it's smart, but it's so frantic, like, to be in that position. It's so fucking chaotic. But at the same time, that chaos was controlled within the shipping containers. And there's guns everywhere else outside of it. Guns and now military equipment that we brought there. Or he did. Not we, but, you know, America. But I don't think he stands for America. I really don't. I believe he stands for himself, and that's it. His creepy agenda. And I know there is one. There has to be. I really just think a lot. I really do. And if I don't say it, it's just gonna stay in my mind. And I'd rather that not happen. I feel like even though I go off a lot and I speak on things that don't make sense, and I don't truly know what the fuck I'm saying sometimes. If I don't say it, it won't be heard. It's like $1 billion idea. I believe ideas are just floating around, waiting to be grabbed. When you catch on to it, that's what you do. And if not, another artist, someone else will catch on to that idea or come up with that $1 billion idea. Because I believe it's already been come up with in another universe. Or, you know, in a parallel dimension, or however you want to picture it. Another plane or another physical existence beyond this one. It probably exists there. So why can't it exist here? Or why can't you create it now? And if you don't, in about a year, someone else is going to come up with it and you're like, I had that idea. Did you? You didn't speak on it. That's what I get. Kind of like picture it didn't happen type of thing, you know? And that's another thing, like I don't know how to post on Instagram, like how I'm going around different places every day. You know, not like, my pieces are being stationary there from like, depends on when I get there. But typically for 6 to 8 hours. And then I'm just around, dropping off my pieces, making little flashcard stuff, my little like friggin' affirmation happiness bullshit. But I believe in it. That's the thing, I do. And I know positivity is toxic to some people, you know, or they see it as like fucking humdrum, or I'm just some dumb mystical pansy, as my dad would have called me back in high school. Just, you know, I've been referring back to a lot of things and how I wasn't able to express myself exactly how I am, you know? I like to read cards and I like to read energy. I like to follow the moon, I like to follow the water. I understand floods, I understand glaciers. You know, I understand the energy. I feel shit. I really do. I feel it. And this moon is crazy. It's thoughts. It's change. It's Neptune. I mean, it's Uranus. It's not Neptune. But it's Uranus too at the same time. Until January. So it's like there's 5 months to reverse whatever it is, and 5 months of it to be revealed, you know, so like within 5 months everything will be revealed type of shit. And I mean, that sounds like prophecy, but so far as presidential prophecy hasn't gone so well, you know. And I mean, you can say the same for my social media presence, but as for my feeling as a human being and how I've connected with people in my community, that's changed substantially. And there's no amount of likes or no amount of posts that could amount to the feeling that I feel when somebody sees my artwork and they say, wow, that's beautiful. How did you make that? And I'm able to tell them in person, looking into their eyes as they just looked into my eyes as they told me that my work looked nice. That connection's missing online. And I don't know, if you're a musician or something, and you may feel the same thing, how it's kind of just robotic, with how everything is instant gratification. It's sad but true, it's a double-edged sword, you know, there's no growth if you don't post. And if you don't post, no one's gonna know you made it. But at the same time, I'm the type of person who doesn't even like being on social media at all. And I'm such a people person, I'm trying to just like stay relevant, that I'm like putting myself out there when I don't even like putting myself out there. But now I might as well just fully fucking do it. Because ultimately it's about expressing myself. I feel like this is like a metaphor for the glaciers and the video that I recorded last night. I was blabbing for about 15 minutes and it was raining, so I extended my hand out and I got a canvas wet with rain water, and I was talking about the glaciers and how they're melting and global warming and how the rainforests and the wildfires and all that is happening a lot quicker and a lot less spread out. Like, normally there'd be a tornado or a hurricane every, like, 2 years that does something devastating, you know? But now it's like the wildfires and floods, and now the glacier is starting to melt in California. Every single month, it's something different, if not a week, you know? Like those, I was saying the floods where the people were trapped in the elevator. It's ridiculous. The wildfires in California that just keep going on. You know, it's been hazy off and on for days. And the hot days, that's due to Sirius being so close. But still, I mean, that happens all the time, but still, now it's even fucking hotter. It's too much. Because those glaciers are melting and the water's gonna rise. And like I said about the book that predicted it, that's gonna fucking happen. And I wish I had that book so I could read from it today. But I don't, but it's okay because, again, that book, like the photo that I mentioned earlier, that lives in my mind, and you can believe it or not, but it is what it is. Are you gonna take somebody's word for it on the internet, you know what I mean? It's like face value with stuff. It's not. I'm a very deep individual, but online it's like I'm just surface because you don't feel anything. At least I don't. You know, and I tried to get the best into character that I could, just looking drained and just not there, you know, and unable to feel connection, you know? And I think I personified the detachment and just everything, the way that the driving and all that stuff. I think I really hit it home there, but it was just my first spoken word and like me just trying to blab and make sense of how I felt for a while, you know? Like I said about the inner child and stuff, it's just things I dealt with, but things I didn't put out there publicly that I healed from, you know? So now I have this thought in my mind that people think that like I'm emotionally withdrawn or like I'm just not okay, but you know, I am emotionally okay. It never spoke about how I got out of that, you know? And it's been cyclic for a while, like loops. And I try to stay out of the loops with the positivity. I really do. But now I'm at the end of the loop, like I said, with this fucking moon, where I'm starting that whole podcast deal thing all over again that I wanted to do in the beginning, but I didn't feel like I had enough to speak on, and I still wanted to express myself in other ways. So I started painting. And I've done that for about 9 months, 10 months, and I like painting, and I like the feeling that I get with connecting with people. But now that I've connected with people in person, it just feels better. I feel like all this COVID shit has just been such a lock onto people and consciousness and change and growth, you know, like you really have to fucking push, and I have been pushing, and I'm not saying it's been easy, I'm not saying it's been difficult, I'm not saying it's as hard as anything that you're going through, or it's not, or whatever, you know, I'm not trying to compare, that's the thing, like, there's no need for comparison, you just have compassion. But it's hard for me to spread all my positive stuff when I'm trying to be a lighthouse, when I see what's going on overseas, and when I see what our president's doing, and what he's doing to people that are fucking backing him up. American soldiers, young people, fathers, uncles, brothers, grandfathers even probably. Sad. It's really sad. And I think the most positive thing I'm doing for myself right now, and even for us, is just being myself, being the whistleblower-like person that I am, weird-ass energy reader, and just being able to see through someone's bullshit that I know that this is all too fucked up for us to just be silent about. So, I don't know. I really need to eat. I've just been so sad. I haven't wanted to eat. Those people aren't eating. I feel like it's not fair for me to eat. I really don't. It's disgusting. It pisses me off. But tomorrow's supposed to be a better day, right, John? If today doesn't work out, I'm sure there's people out there trying to use my words against me. But that's not what it is. It's not meant to be that toxic, positive bullshit. It's just meant to be something that maybe someone needs to read. And that's really it. If you need help, go to a professional. That's not me. I'm just a human who's really weird and always have been. It's only about to get even weirder. That's okay. But yeah, that's where my mind's been. Alright. Just gonna go stare out at the moon for a while. I'm probably just gonna keep watching videos of that too. And see what's going on. Alright, everybody. Just say your prayers. Kiss your loved ones. Especially if you have a soldier who's already home. Make sure you know he's appreciated. Everybody's appreciated. Even if you don't feel it. Even if you feel like a fuck up like I do sometimes. It's still worth you taking another breath. Just don't give up on yourself. I'm starting to think that bullies are just people that want you to be the best person that you can be. And they trigger you. Just the more that I look back at things that upset me when I was younger and the people that pushed me around, they were really good people deep down. But when they could, they did. And I think that was solely because of the fact that what I just said, they wanted better for me. And I'm not justifying bullying. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to state a point that makes sense to me right now. But triggers, they're like what you don't want to pay attention to. And I just think, like I said, with this moon, everything's being revealed and people's triggers are being known, And I felt like I needed to do this. I've just been feeling the pull all day to just be honest, be myself, be real, just do what I do. And that's talk on what I've experienced. And I still don't know what platform to put it on, but I'm gonna put it somewhere. People are gonna listen. Some people are gonna like it, some people aren't. I already know that. That's how life works. Not everybody's gonna like your stuff. Not everybody likes my artwork. But the more that I put my artwork up and the least likes that I get and the more that I put of my spoken word thing into the caption, it's like it's like my story's better off in person or on a different format. it's not working, and that's my sign. So that's why I'm just gonna finish the art series and maybe slowly back off, but I don't want to give up either at the same time, you know? So either change my approach or just fully go into this and start posting this. But I've been messing with fluorescent paints and glow in the dark stuff, and it's all like time lapsed, and you can see it, but I'm not